All right, so let's talk about something that creates a lot of quiet dysfunction in organizations that have HR departments. So, when leaders get deeply involved in HR work, it is often interpreted in a very specific way. Employees, managers, and even HR professionals may read that involvement as a power or authority issue. Now, most of the time, it's not, it's almost always a role clarity issue. And it comes down to really understanding what HR is actually responsible for and how leaders should be using that function. So, my name is Latisha Newby. I'm the HR attorney behind Cultivate HR Consulting, and I help people understand the real work of HR because this work impacts real people, real careers, and real workplace cultures. And this is one of those situations where understanding what's actually happening is going to be really important. So, when leaders step into HR work, it's rarely because they're trying to sideline HR. More often, it's because they're responding to urgency, they're trying to move quickly, or they're just unsure about what HR can handle or own versus what they need to handle themselves. So, in the absence of clear role boundaries, leaders will almost always fill those gaps, not out of ego, but simply out of responsibility, right? So, from the outside, though, that involvement can land very differently, right? So, employees may read it as HR doesn't really have authority here. Why should I go to them? Leadership doesn't even trust HR. Like, I'm gonna just go straight to leadership. Or even think, decisions are being made somewhere else. So, the employee believes that that process doesn't live with HR. Let me go to the person who's making the decision. And for HR professionals, they may even internalize it as, well, I don't have a seat at the table. My role isn't valued. Why do y'all even have me here if you're going to just step in and take over some of these processes that really should live with us? And all of those interpretations make sense, but they're often responding to what I like to call unclear design, not always bad intent. Here's the real issue that actually shows up. When role clarity is missing, HR's influence actually gets diluted. Right? Leaders are unintentionally taking on work that isn't theirs. Employees are confused about where to go, things that should live with HR, talking to other people about. And ultimately, it can erode trust because the system is not clear. And over time, that creates inconsistency and frustration on all sides. Now, strong leadership doesn't mean doing HR's job, right? It's really about understanding when to engage HR, what HR is best positioned to handle, and how to use the function as a thought partner, not a backup plan. HR works best when the roles are clear and the partnership is intentional, not reactive. So, when a leader steps into HR work, the question isn't whether the leader is too involved or HR isn't strong enough. It doesn't come down to that. The question is really whether the organization has been clear, and I mean really clear, about what HR is responsible for versus what leaders should handle on their own, and then how the roles are meant to work together. Because when that clarity is missing, everyone will start to just fill the gaps on their own, right? And lack of clarity results in lack of structure, which results in more issues. So leaders will try to just step in and solve problems. Employees are going to bypass HR because they're unsure where that authority lives. And then HR ends up caught in the middle and they feel oftentimes underutilized and undervalued. The role of HR is there to support the organization, which includes supporting both the leaders and the employees. When organizations take the time to clarify roles instead of reacting to systems, trust becomes easier, processes make more sense, and HR can actually do the work it was designed to do. So, my question for you is, does this sound familiar? Has this happened to you? Let me know in the comments. And if this video helped bring a little more clarity to how HR actually works, then hit that like button and follow me for more. Again, my name is Latisha Newby. I'm the HR attorney, and I will see you in the next one.